If you're an empath, an HSP, a generally kind, caring, nurturing person, the odds that you've experienced anxiety, depression, even burnout are pretty high. I've been through it. I've gone through my phases of intense darkness and depression. I was once upon a time, I had periods where I was on medication. I chose to entertain the concept of antidepressants, and that was about 8 years ago. I was on it for a couple of years, and it really didn't serve me a purpose. It inspired suicidal thoughts. Insane. And so I started to dig and explore. There have to be alternative ways for me to optimize my mood, enhance my, or rather minimize my depression. And I discovered multiple ways, and I want to share with you my favorite, most recent, and one of the most impactful ways where I've been able to manage my depression. I don't really experience anxiety, but every now and again it happens. But I want to share this with you as an option for you to consider to minimize your burnout, your depression, your anxiety. One of the healthiest activities I started about a year ago is gardening. Growing up, I used to think gardening was for old people. Maybe I've become old and started gardening, but modern society is showing us the health benefits of gardening. So let's take a look at how I garden from home. And like everything in life, you have to embrace failure as you learn and grow. This is my third attempt at growing ginger. And finally, I've got, look at this, absolutely amazing. So now the challenge is I'm going to transfer this to outdoors, and hopefully it can thrive, and hopefully I can harvest this and never ever have to go to the store and buy ginger that has been exposed to toxic chemicals. So this journey of wellness is not just emotional, it's also physical. That's Kibo. Heading out to the backyard. That's Kari, oftentimes hanging around to help me. So I recently went and bought some, actually just recently, I mean this morning, I went and bought some soil, some pots, and over there is, let me quickly share that with you. This is sweet potato, tomato, basil or basil, and it's thriving. And so I'm building, continually building and adding to my garden. So right here, I'm going to plant this ginger. I haven't decided what I'm going to do here, but I'm slowly expanding and learning. And the feel-good factor is absolutely unbelievable. It brings me joy. It brings me peace and calm. And really, that's better than any form of medication that I can take. Now, as you're creating this garden of yours or anything that you're going to do, there's a level of creativity that comes into play. There are challenges that people face. Well, I live in an apartment. I don't have the space. There is always a workaround. There is always a way to plant plants and leverage this amazing life force that brings us so much joy. Hello, Kibo. Hello, baby. I've got my soil. So one of the ways that I save cost is I have a fir tree over there, and I leverage the needles for two things. This will be the filler at the bottom of the pot because I want to save money on soil, and I don't need to fill the pot all the way with soil. So I'm leveraging this. I will also use this above the soil as a level of mulch. So get creative, never say die, live and learn, make mistakes, try again until you figure it out. And that unto itself, the reward of overcoming a challenge, stimulates some feel-good hormones. So add that to your arsenal of minimizing depression, burnout, and generally not feeling good about yourself. What I've done there is punch the holes through so I can add my drip line. And all these tips, everything that I'm figuring out, YouTube, we have access to everything, knowledge, information, leverage it. And then if you're fortunate enough, you have a helper who comes and encourages you and supports you along your journey. This is Kari. Again, leverage YouTube for resources. Many years ago, I kind of learned the basics about extending a drip line, getting little components that connect all the parts, the different type of heads. It's all out there. Now, I could have paid a landscaper to do, there are some things that I can't do, and I do pay a landscaper, but I could have paid a landscaper to do this part of the project. But there's great joy in having a project that gives you something to look forward to, taking your mind off of some of the life stresses. And while I'm actually in the process of creating my flower garden, I'm finding peace. I've zoned out. I'm in the moment, the power of now. Eckhart Tolle, I'm in the power of now, enjoying the moment, out with nature. All of the above is only positive. I'm going to borrow from these existing drip lines, and I'm simply going to cut that off, extend it. Creativity, creativity, creativity. Such a huge component of empowerment and recovery. I actually wrote a book about creativity. Should you be curious? OMG, what were the odds that my creativity book will be randomly lying here in my backyard? And by the way, just a continuation, these leaves are going to become filler and used as mulch. But this book is about connecting to your inner genius. You'll also get some insight about my years in Cirque du Soleil and how Cirque du Soleil encouraged us to stretch ourselves, step out of our comfort zones, and connect to our true inner genius. It's liberating, it's empowering, it's an entertaining book. Go get it. Think like an artist, connecting to your inner genius. See how easy this is? And then I'm going to add the extension and run it, connecting the other parts. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra. What do you know? There's the line. Poked it through the hole. Now, a professional landscaper might say, Vital, what a hack job. Who cares? Who bloody cares? Because you know what? While doing this hack job, I've found joy. I've enjoyed it. I've been in Zen mode. So you can judge. You can hate. I don't care. Throwing in some rocks at the bottom. Gonna add this. This is also providing drainage at the bottom to minimize any type of flooding. By the way, I'm not making any money as an endorsement, but this is what I use. It's cheap, it's effective. This, for example, it's organic. I'm gonna toss it in. Now this is maybe the best and healthiest part, is get your hands in the soil. Forget gloves. Get your hands in the earth, in the soil. Connect. Stimulate serotonin. This is making me feel good. Ooh, I feel good. My next challenge is to transfer this into that without killing or disturbing this. It's probably going to go through some level of trauma, but the objective is to minimize trauma. Wish me luck. So here's my plan, very rudimentary plan. I'm going to use this for my kitchen, and I'm going to scoop this out as if it were an omelet. Creativity, creativity, creativity. By the way, did I mention I wrote a book on creativity called Think Like an Artist? Just in case I hadn't, it's an Amazon #1 bestseller. Go get it. Think Like an Artist, connecting to your inner genius. My bad. Just say no to crack. I've been able to scoop it out in one go. Got lucky. Gently going to set it into the soil. Add some more soil, making sure to get my hands all up in there. Now, from what I've learned about ginger, a light coat of earth soil covering it up. We need to add one more magical miracle touch: water. That should do the trick. Another little trick I learned on YouTube: recycling my banana peel. Soak it in water, get all those minerals, potassium, which become fertilizer. And I'll add that to my other plants, but also to my ginger. This entire journey of creating my own outdoor, well, originally indoor, but now outdoor garden, started from a video, a reel on Instagram, where I saw somebody go and buy a piece of ginger and plant it and reap the benefits and harvest ginger. And guess what? I drink a lot of tea now made from ginger. So over time, I will recuperate all the energy and time that I put in, because I won't have to go out and buy ginger, and I will know that my ginger is not toxic from all the pesticides. I am grateful for the learning curve, for the inspiration that somebody gave me, and hopefully this reel will inspire you to entertain and explore different ways for you to manage either your anxiety, your depression, or your burnout/exhaustion from any form of trauma. Probably highly likely, if you're an empath, from narcissist trauma, which is really where I'm coming from. I experienced my dark night moment with a narcissist, and here I am 8 years later, really truly beginning to thrive. Go out there, make it happen for you. Oh, just in case I forgot, did I mention I'm the author of Think Like an Artist, Connecting to Your Inner Genius, available on Amazon. It is an Amazon #1 bestseller. Sorry. Come here, babies. Okay. Good boys, good boys, good boys. Don't forget to get your copy of Think Like an Artist.